these are the 7 things that I will be intentionally growing in during this time in Ecuador. The first and probably the most important is to clearly define and have a picture of what does Daniel look like at 30 years old, in specifically in terms of career, but also just as a person, in my faith, in my foundation, in my personal growth and leadership development, in my finances, in my relationships, and in my health. And one of the things that I'm specifically going to be doing is identifying what are my gifts, what are the things that actually bring me joy, what are the things that I love to do, and then what are the needs in the world that my gifts and what brings me joy could actually be fulfilled by, and find that sweet spot in the middle. That's kind of number one. That's the one thing that if I can be sure or have an increased amount of clarity on what those things are, then this trip is a success. The second thing, and these kind of are in order of importance, the second thing is to create a rhythm of rest, to have a weekly Sabbath for the first time in my life, and to create that and maintain it post Ecuador, but to give myself that runway to come from. And then the third thing, these are kind of intertwined, or there's 2 that are intertwined, but I'm just going to call them 3, A and B, is to build a scripturally based identity. And what that means to me is to intentionally memorize scripture and dwell on scripture that is in alignment with who I am as a son of God, as someone who was created in advance to do good works which God created for me to do, and to continue to build and develop and believe in the identity as a son of God. And then interleave with that, I'm probably going to do that for about an hour a day, combined with practicing drums. And so I'll be doing 10 minutes for an hour. That's my current thought process on those. So those are kind of top 3. And then the fourth one is to build into young people at Mosaic Ecuador, and to continue to invest in that community. Something else is I want to visit Jose, who's one of my compassion children. I sponsored him when he was 16. When I was 16, he was 5, and I want to visit him. It would be pretty sick. He just turned 13 last November, and I turned 24 last July, and I'll turn 25 this July while I'm in Ecuador. And then I would also love to stay at a hostel in Cotopaxi, as well as go to Baños, which is a spot in Ecuador, and surf there. I think that would be sick. And but honestly, if it comes down to I do everything else and I don't go to Baños and surf, I'm not going to be heartbroken. Again, those are in order of importance, and it makes life so much easier to say yes to the thing that you know is the most important, when there are really cool things that I could do. I just distinctly remember the first time that I was in Ecuador going, I know what the one thing is that's the most important for me to do. And because of that, it was so much easier to say no to things that I didn't care as much about, because I was really clear. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to lay this out. And I also know that it's super cool after the trip to be able to come back to a video like this and go, okay, like I actually was able to do those things. I was able to see how God moved in these ways. So yeah, I'm excited. If you guys can be praying for me in these areas, in these specific areas, that would be amazing. I would be so appreciative of that. And I cannot remember a time when I felt so supported going into an unknown thing before. To have so many people from where I used to work at Vintage, like there are just so many important people in my life that are so excited for what I'm doing, and I so did not expect that. And I'm so grateful for so many people who wrote notes, who gave me books, who gave me suggestions, for so many different people at VG, at even farther back at Bayside, and family and friends that, man, your guys' support and encouragement is so greatly appreciated. And I realize how uncommon it is to step from a place of known into something that's not known, and to have so many people that are encouraging me in that process, praying for me in that process, and expecting God to do incredible things in this space because of the courage that it took to say yes to it to some extent. Yeah, I'm really grateful. That's simple. So, if you did happen to like this this video, if you would be able to drop a like and even leave a comment of what was something that stood out to you, of like that you'll be praying for me about, or something that stood out to you that you want to work on over this summer. I would love to hear your thoughts and share this journey with you. And I'm so grateful that you chose to watch to this point. It really means so much. And man, I'm grateful for you. So enjoy the rest of your day.